Hi Sagittarius, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have been here before, and for those of you who haven't been here before, welcome and thank you very much for coming over to see what it's all about. My name is Colette and this channel is called Inspiring Life Changes. I'm an intuitive tarot reader with over 30 years experience. And today this reading is for Sagittarius who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Sagittarius. It is a general read, so it's not going to resonate with all Sagittariuses out there. If it doesn't resonate with you and if you don't get anything from this read, that is fine. For those of you who may be interested in finding out more about your own astrology, where your Sun is, your Moon, your Venus, your Rising, and also if you are a cusp Sagittarius as well, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves. You may know which sun sign you are, but you may not know where exactly the sun is at which degree within your Sagittarius sign itself. Also, you may want to check out the moon sign, your rising sign readings as well, and also the Venus reading as well. I will also be putting a love reading out for Sagittarius after this reading for yourself and the person you have an energetic connection with as well. So you may also want to check out that reading too. In the meantime, this, like I said, is a general reading and I've set it out in 3 sets of 3 rows. So the first row is your past, your middle row is your present, it's where you're at now, and the bottom row is going to be the energies that are going to move in for you. But remember, nothing is set in stone, you have free will, so you can change what is coming by changing where you are right now. Because your past has created your present and your present is creating your future. So that's how I've been told to say it. That's what I'm going to say. At the bottom of this deck of cards, which is the Good Tarot deck that I'm using here, we have the 7 of Fire, which is giving me an indication, an overall indication of something that is like you're ready to take a leap into something, but at the same time you're feeling as though you don't know if it's the right thing to do. You've got all these fireflies around you, which could also be kind of symbolic of things that are kind of attacking you, of maybe what you're trying to get away from. Maybe that's why you feel the need to take this leap into something new, this new adventure, this new idea, this new creative outlook or drive at this time, Sagittarius. But we'll see what else comes out for you. I will also be using another deck of cards to confirm what we have here. So the first card that's come out for you is the Emperor energy here. And he's upright. He looks very powerful. He looks very strong to me today. In a position of power, in a position of authority. This may be yourself, this may have been somebody else around you, Sagittarius, who had this authority energy about them. It could be a father figure, because the Emperor is very much the masculine energy here. Doesn't have to be a man, could also be a mother figure, but it does tend to lean more towards it being a masculine energy, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been a very masculine mother. For some of you, it could also have been a mother who had to be both male and female as well. And play both roles. Because it kind of looks to me here as though it's this lion wearing this cloak. It's almost like it's a role that they've had to put on. It's something that they've had to kind of take on board here. Again, this could be you, Sagittarius. This could be the energy around you or has been around you. This is your past energy. There's also a very strong feeling of protectiveness here as well. Like protecting something special, something that meant a lot to you maybe. because he's holding in his hand this sword, which is very bloody, as though he's just come off the battlefield, and he's kind of in this full armour, or at least he's in this, yeah, his armour and his big massive cloak as well. But the Emperor energy itself is very much about something that's very, when it's in the right way up as well, it says to me it's something that's very stable, it's very solid, it's very grounded, it's got foundation, it's got roots, it's got power. There's a power behind it, and it may be quite a kind of subtle power as well, because I'm kind of picking up on this crown here above his head and this kind of floral thing that's coming out of his head there, as though it's something that's quite, on some level, quite gentle. But at the same time, with this sword down here, it's something, it's like something, it's almost like, you know, an energy of don't mess with me. I may come across as being very gentle, very kind of held back, very approachable, very calm. But if you mess with me, you will get to see a side of me that you may regret, is kind of what I'm picking up here. And straight after that, we have this fire energy, this ace of fire, this kind of energy of very driven, passionate. And it's kind of talking to me as well about the actual Leo energy here, which is ruled by the sun and is very dynamic and is very driving. So there may be a Leo energy around here. The Emperor for me represents the Leo energy. A lion being the king of the jungle, sun being the kind of centre of our solar system, and the sun is the ruler of Leo. But it's interesting because the two kind of blend together for me today as well. This kind of fire energy, this kind of blending into this side of this card here. So it may have been I feel like there's a lot of passion behind this. There has been a lot of passion, whether this is a sexual situation or whether this is just something very creative, something very powerful, something that kind of has been very all-consuming. It's an ace of fire, ace of wands. It's an ace, so it's a new energy. It's an energy that had, I say had because this is your past energy, had kind of come into your life, and I feel it kind of really set light to things. It really kind of brought up a lot of passion, drive, a dynamic energy. It's kind of set your world on fire, is what I'm picking up here. Something that set your world on fire. But after that, we have this 3 of wands, or 3 of fire, in reverse. And this is a much more subtle, more subdued energy here. And it's in reverse, so it may have been something that didn't complete. And I'm getting the sense of something that with this ace here, it was all passion, all drive, all fire, and then it kind of took a different turn. Because the Three of Fire here is about, it's different, for me, it's about taking a different direction. We have the compass here as well, which always kind of points to that being on a path and then kind of veering off somewhere else, something else taking over your life. But I'm feeling that whatever it was that got you fired up and passionate suddenly became a lot less, maybe a lot less appealing. Maybe there was something in it that kind of, again, I'm getting this sense of turning your world upside down, but then it kind of, almost like a dying fire, it kind of became more of an ember rather than a passion, rather than a kind of overwhelming inferno in a way. Maybe it kind of reached an even keel, possibly. But it's upside down, so I get more the sense that this was something that you maybe didn't have any control over here, Sagittarius. That it was kind of taken out, the control was taken out of your hands here. That passion, that drive. So all of a sudden it was removed. That energy was kind of no longer. So it's still there, or it was, but it was just simmering rather than it being an actual energy. Like it lost its direction, it lost where it was going. It was like it was removed from the situation. Is kind of how I'm seeing it. And your present energy, where this has led you, is to this Four of Water, or the Four of Cups, which is often seen as a card of sadness, sorrow. It can be to do with, again, incompletion, something that didn't turn out the way it was meant to turn out. But for me, this is always about this, this kind of crystal ball. This pearl for me always kind of looks like she's offering this crystal ball, this kind of sense of come see what else is possible. And that's why I feel that this is kind of maybe on the back burner at this time. I don't feel as though it's completely been ended or completely been whatever this was. This is a creative, driving, very, like I say, very powerful, very dynamic. It really kind of stirred up a lot of kind of driving passion is kind of what I'm feeling. But I do feel as though it's kind of on the back burner here. And because we have the Nine of Earth in the very heart of this reading, which for me is the energy of the centre, the very centre, it's like where the energy is coming out of but also going in at the same time. So it's like the centre creative point, if you like, is the Nine of Earth. It is up the right way. And so I feel as though this is kind of a journey of discovery somehow. That's how you've ended up. It wasn't what you were expecting, I don't feel. Because the Nine of Earth is about self-esteem. It's about knowing your worth in a situation. And I feel that this is the Four of Water, the sadness and the and the loss of whatever was here in these top 3 cards here, whatever was here, this sense of loss with these 2 cards here, although they're both upright, so that's a sign of something being more positive than it is negative. This is about, I feel, something that you kind of took on board, something that you realised you had to go through. Water can be, well, water is all about the emotions, but it can also be about the psychic realm as well. It can also relate to immersing yourself, because she's completely immersed in this card as well. If you see, she's completely under the water. So that's kind of how I feel it's about this immersion, this kind of offering of this crystal ball is kind of saying, like, you know, immerse yourself in your emotions and come and see what it is that you're not understanding here, or what it is that you're not realizing, or what's missing, or take a deeper look at what has just occurred and why has it just occurred. And there is this realization, I feel, with this 9 of Earth, Sagittarius, that this has been a journey of discovery. There seems to be a lot of that happening at this time, and whether that's because we're all being forced into this kind of certain way of living our lives at the moment, I think is probably very influential in what's happening on a personal level with us, much more on a day-to-day cycle, if you like, because we're no longer able to focus our attention on our work and our outer world as much as we normally would be. So we've had to pull our energies back more into ourselves and actually kind of take a look at our own lives and our stories and where we are, where we're at, what we're doing. And that's what I feel this 9 of Earth is doing here. It's not a final energy, it's not a completion, it's almost a completion. It's kind of getting to that point of completion. But there's also within this card a sense of self-achievement in the way of you realising that all of these coins here, for me, relates to situations that have happened in your life, and they don't have to be financial. These can also be about experience for me as well, about value, about how we lessons learned and how we grow through those lessons learnt, which is what the earth energy for me is about. It's not always about the financial, it's also to do with how we grow on a spiritual level and the lessons that we learn. And I feel also that there's a sense of putting things in the past here as well, Sagittarius, that it's time to put things in the past. Kind of that the past is the past, in order to move forward. You have to recognise your part in that. You have to recognise your strength, that you have got yourself to where you are today, and that all these lessons that you've learnt that other people may not necessarily see as being valuable, they're all kind of attached to you, is kind of what I'm feeling here. It's all attached to you. This is all your experience. And however anybody else views it, it doesn't matter. It's how you view it. It's what you get from your experiences, how you value your life's journey and your life's lessons here. Is how you have your self-esteem, whether it's positive or whether it's a negative a view of your life. But because this is upright, I'm feeling very much that you are kind of really beginning to see how valuable all of it has been to you. And the energy that's coming out after that card is the 8 of Fire. 8 of Wands. And I'm getting a sense here of you moving into this new energy, and maybe even kind of picking up where you left off here with something. But it doesn't necessarily have to be in the same way. It's like you've learnt a lot with this energy here. You've learnt about your own self-esteem. You've learnt your self-worth. How valuable. And I just keep getting how valuable your life lessons have been. And how you can take them forward with you into this energy here. Because this, for me, is like a curtain. It's kind of like on being on a stage somehow, I feel. It's like playing a role, playing a part. But doing it in a fun way. Doing it in a kind of cheeky kind of... a sense of fun, a sense of, in a way, what I'm feeling here is a sense of you discovering you within this energy here. The you maybe that you lost, or something that you lost from your past, possibly kind of rediscovering a part of yourself. Which is maybe what this energy here is, because I'm feeling this kind of playful, fun energy. And it's similar with this kind of bamboo curtain here. It's kind of reminding me of this ball here, kind of something that's hidden, something that's not obvious to you. Or something that's not obvious to other people, like you wanting to keep things not necessarily hidden. I don't think hidden's the right word here, but there's parts of yourself that you've kind of veiled off somehow. And I still just get this sense of self-discovery. But it's fun. It's like it's a fun thing. It's become this fun way of living your life. It's almost like that childlike energy, going back to a time where you were younger and things were easier and life was much more fun. And it's kind of I feel as though it's kind of lighting things up for you. And you've also got this butterfly down here as well, in the corner, which kind of talks about something transforming here. And these fireflies as well. Like something transforming. If you look here, they're coming out of this fan of hers that she's holding. Or they seem to be. It seems to be this kind of... something, I feel as though something is changing. Something is... transforming. Something is kind of like you yourself are changing, transforming, becoming less burdened, maybe. But we have you moving into this present energy, sorry, not the present energy, this future energy of the Hanged Man here. And I feel as though this is kind of a willing energy. Like this is something that you're willing, you're sacrificing, but you're doing it willingly. In order, I feel, to find something more. It's like you've got a glimpse. I feel as though you've got a glimpse of something from behind this curtain and you want to know more about it. So in order to find out more about it, you're having to kind of let go of something else here. It's like a willing sacrifice of letting go of something. It's like, okay, I'll have to let go of that. Maybe it's something to do with your past energy as well. Letting go. There's this circle here and there's this, which is quite murky here, this one. If you look at that circle behind her head, it's kind of murky. It's kind of dark, dirty. Possibly confusion, possibly, but again, sense of kind of a difficult past, maybe difficulties in the past. Yeah, this kind of sense of murkiness and but with this hangman energy here and this circle here, it's like something is being illuminated, and I'm kind of feeling that with this energy here as well. Something is kind of being brought into your vision that you can't ignore. But in order to find out more about it, you need to put yourself into that place of letting something go completely, willingly, just no expectations is kind of what I'm picking up here. No expectations, Sagittarius. You've got to kind of completely let go of something. Stop messing about with something, stop fiddling with something, stop kind of interfering maybe with something as well. In order for something to transform and change, you've got to completely cut ties with it, I feel, is what this is saying to me. Because I see the hangman himself as a kind of a moth energy here, kind of this sense of this transformation that's taking place. And the moth is always attracted to the light. And that's kind of what I'm picking up here, that this is kind of bringing in more light to a situation. This is kind of giving you more understanding about something. Whereas this is very murky, it's very dark, it's very kind of, I feel as though there's not a lot of joy there, but then there's also this little yellow flower in her hand here, and she's really focused on this little yellow flower, and it's almost like this is all the light that has been in your life up to this point. But you are moving into this kind of place where things are beginning to be more kind of lit up for you, or these situations that are becoming more apparent to you. And so in order to find out more on a deeper level, this is about going deeper into something, which again, with this Four of Water energy here as well, immersion, deeper, is kind of saying to me with this, like I was saying earlier, this crystal ball is kind of saying to me, like, you know, come and have a look, come and see how much more there is. You may think that there's only as much as you've experienced so far, but there is so much more. or even that it's never going to change as well somehow. But the Hangman is kind of saying, if you can let it be, if you can let it go, if you can trust, trust the universe, trust the bigger energy, trust that what is meant for you is not going to go past you. Trust that there is some, because he's attached, there's a golden cord there which attaches him to, it attaches him to, I feel like, higher energy. It's like source energy in a way, source energy, universal energy, God energy, however you prefer to call it or see it. That's what I'm kind of getting here from this energy, or from this card today. There's a need somehow for, yeah, trust and faith and allowing space for something to change. For yourself to change even in this card, Sagittarius. Because that's really why he's hanging there. He's hanging there for the reason of wanting to make space in order for something else to come into his life. So there is, I feel, this need for detachment. And in doing so, we have the messenger of air come out after this. And it looks to me, it's like with this messenger of air, it's like suddenly things kind of make sense. It's like after you come down from this hanging off of this this willing sacrifice, is kind of hanging energy. And it's not so much, because sometimes it feels like being hung out to dry, but I'm not feeling that so much with this today, because I feel as though it is more about it being a willing thing rather than it's something that's being forced on you. I feel as though it's kind of you saying, right, okay, there's nothing more that I can do here, I just have to let it take its course or do what it's going to do, just let go. And this for me is a card where she's completely in bliss. It just looks like a real, today it just looks like a complete bliss energy here of like having connected with something so amazing. It's like an ecstasy kind of look on her face. It's kind of like a real understanding. Messenger of air is the Knight of Air. And it can be quick moving, fast action energy. But what I'm getting from this card today is much more just this sense of this really deep understanding of something. This kind of real, like connecting with something in a way that you've not connected ever before. Maybe it's connecting with a part of yourself, Sagittarius, that you've never connected with before. And just this deep understanding of kind of like, now I get it. Now I get it. Now I know. Now I understand. And it's interesting because it's come out, I must stop using that word. It's come out with the Seven of Earth after that, which I have, like, there's a similar, even though this is air and this is earth, there's all these feathers that he's wearing too, and there's all these feathers that she's wearing. So it's kind of saying to me that there's this energy that's going to kind of continue. It's like a connection that's made that isn't going to be like just there and gone. It's like once you've got it, you've got it. Once you've got it, you know it. It's there. It's going to be there. Because there is this real kind of similar feeling with this card. And then with Seven of Earth, I always see this as the distraction card, that something comes in that you're not expecting, completely out of the blue. And this could be you here, Sagittarius, or this could be you here. This energy of like you catching somebody's eye here, and it was completely unexpected, and this person is kind of looking at you and going, wow, wow, that's an interesting energy. That's a real interesting energetic vibration that person's giving off there. I want to know more. Because he's completely kind of caught in her, or it's, it looks like a her to me, like a she fairy rather than a he fairy. But there is this sense of something, you know, it's like a unique in some ways, because fairies are unique beings. So that's why I'm feeling that this is more your energy, this one here, Sagittarius. Male or female, doesn't make any difference, but it's your energy, something about your energy that's very, very magnetic. And something, whether that's just a person or whether that's a figurehead, in the sense of somebody who's got some standing in something, but something is going to be very attracted to what you have to say, maybe here. Because that's kind of, I'm seeing this fairy today as being, as kind of having this energy coming out from her. I've not really ever taken much notice of that, but there seems to be like this aura or this halo around this fairy, and she seems to be kind of saying, hey. In fact, I don't even think she's saying, well, I think she's just enjoying life is kind of what I'm feeling, is it's just in the enjoyment and in the kind of knowledge and the wisdom of whatever it is that you're learning from this situation here. There's going to be this, and I feel it's very sudden actually. I think it's a very sudden kind of change. Again, this kind of change of direction, something that's going to change that direction of that boat that started back here, that was kind of on the back boiler. So this could be something that's going to come back around for some of you Sagittarians out there. This could be a situation that's coming back into your life, or you're entering back into its life. That could be a work project, it could be a relationship, it could be a family situation. But because it's Earth, I feel somehow that it is about kind of working on something again. Kind of starting off from where you finished previously is kind of what I'm feeling here. So let's see what the Motherpeace deck would like to say. Okay, Motherpeace decks come out very quickly. We have over the top of this Emperor energy, we have Judgment. It's come out upright. So I feel as though there was a judgment call here. Something, a decision was kind of made. Something, maybe even something moved. Yeah, because I'm still getting this energy of protection from this Emperor here. Something that was very kind of like, don't mess with my family, maybe. Don't mess with my energy here. Don't mess with me, because you will see that side you don't like. And I feel as though you made a judgment call here on this situation, and decided to move things in a different path. And maybe also you felt that you didn't have any choice here as well. Maybe you felt with this judgment energy. Which is interesting because it's got the world, it's got a rainbow, and it's got an ankh symbol of a cross here as well. A rainbow for me always kind of talks about the not only is it the chakra colours as well, from the bottom up, the symbol in the sky being kind of representative of how can I put this? It's kind of, I went through a quite amazing situation myself the other day where I was kind of given this as a message, in the sense of we are all like, we are chakras. We have within our body, we have all these kind of different colours. So we have from the base chakra, the red, we have the orange, we have the yellow at the solar plexus, we have the heart energy chakra of the green, we have the throat energy chakra of the blue, we also have the turquoise that's kind of being created here as well. And so that you get the blend of different colours, and it goes all the way up to the lilac or the purple. We have the indigo at the centre of the third eye. And beyond and above all of this, we have the white light, and the white light is the light that is made up of all these other colours. So it's like we, as these human walking rainbow bodies, are mini reflections of that white light energy. The white light energy being kind of the source energy, the higher energy, the understanding. So I feel on some level that this is what happened for your world. It's like this was something big, in the sense that you couldn't ignore this, even if you wanted to. You couldn't ignore it. And even if it took you down a path that you didn't necessarily want to go down, you kind of had some understanding that this was bigger than you, or bigger than the situation that you were in, and that you had to follow where that was taking you. And we have, I'm not going to say it, over the Ace of Fire, we have the Ace of Discs here. So this was a rebirth. Ace of Discs, opportunity, new energy coming in, but in this card it is depicted as kind of a very new born baby. And again, I kind of get the same feeling of this. So if you turn this card upside down, and it's interesting because it did actually come out sideways, and I kind of turned it around. But if you look at that, I mean, that is so symbolically the same. It's just like in your face. Well, it is to me anyway. It's kind of, it's right there. It's kind of like, you know, the same energy. This is, I feel, the starting point for you. This Ace of Fire energy. Here, two aces. Two aces. So this, I feel as though it was something that was very powerful. With this Judgment card as well. It was something that, like I was saying, you couldn't ignore it. Even if you didn't know where it was taking you, even if you didn't know what was behind this, it was like this was the starting point of getting you to this energy here. And you're not here yet, Sagittarius. This is the energy that you're about to move into, this Hangman energy. This is what is coming up for you. But this was the start of it. It's kind of very fiery, passionate, creative. It could be something, somebody that kind of came into your life and changed everything up for you. There is this tiny little fairy sitting, and I haven't mentioned her yet, but there's this tiny little fairy sitting on top of this, and she is actually clutching a little red heart in her hands to her heart. It's very, 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 very tiny, but it is there, a little red heart. And I'm kind of seeing a similarity energy here, which is why I'm feeling that this has been put on the back boiler. Whatever this was, because here it is again. Like if this is you here, then this is you here. But this is you kind of reborn you in a way, is what I'm feeling. Whereas this one is more you kind of holding on to your heart, possibly in fear. Even though there's all this passion around you and all this kind of real creative potential within this Ace of Fire for something really quite powerfully, especially with the Ace of Discs over the top as well, something that's very much to do in your environment as well. Like this could be a home environment that this situation was about. But it created a completely different scenario, I feel, or situation to the one that you thought you were going to be going down. Sagittarius. That's kind of how I'm picking this up today. We have two cards that have turned over here. Two of Discs. Okay, two of Discs, and it came out in reverse as well, over the top of this three of Fire here. So we've got the Ace of Discs, and it's followed by the Two of Discs. The two, I mean, it's in reverse, so this is literally about kind of your world going upside down over the top of the three. One of the only cards here that's actually in reverse as well. Two often talks to me about a situation of backwards and forwards, future and past, and I feel that that's what this is about here. Because like I was saying, with this judgment call here, I feel as though it took you on a different path, and it was a path that you weren't intending to go down. But it was a higher energy, it was a higher calling, it was something that you couldn't ignore even if you wanted to. but it wasn't easy because you didn't want to let go of that situation. You didn't want to let it go. So there was this kind of backwards and forwards energy here, kind of heading towards your future, but then again kind of being pulled back into your past, because this is in reverse. For me, it's kind of a reluctant energy here, an energy of I don't really want to be doing this, but I'm having to. And so this Two of Discs is kind of saying the same thing for me here. And it could have also felt very much like you had to do everything for yourself. You were very much on your own, Sagittarius. She's got 2 babies in her arms there, so she's kind of not got a lot of you know, movement in her life. She's kind of stuck in a situation that she may not necessarily want to be in, but at the same time is finding it difficult to move forward. And there's 2 snakes entwined here, and they look to me like they've got 2 heads. So whether it's 2 snakes or 1 snake with 2 heads, it's a bit difficult to quite see, but it does look like it's got 2 heads here. And it's kind of, again, it's that energy of kind of looking into the past and kind of looking into the future as well. So kind of trying to make your mind up. But this is the past energy, but I feel as though it's been an energy, and I feel as though it's got a lot to do with this as well. I feel that maybe this is what all this confusion has also been about, this kind of energy that I was talking about here. This confusion, this kind of like sense of it wasn't meant to be like this. And over the top of this 3 of Fire as well, which came out with this 2 of Discs, we have the Daughter of Wands, which is the Page of Fire, Knight of Fire, I think. No, Page of Fire. It is the Page of Fire in this card, Daughters of the Pages. Yeah, finally making your mind up to move on, to move past that situation. But I feel that it was kind of, because you were so kind of caught up here, it was like you had to be very kind of dramatic about it, very kind of almost like childish, or, you know, respond to the situation in a childish fashion, or a kind of way of breaking free from something. That's how I'm kind of seeing this, as breaking free, breaking away from something, breaking out of it. Moving forward. With a sense of purpose. Because it's a page, it's always this energy of something that's kind of young or immature, or it's kind of that stage of just starting out, learning about something. So this could be, again, something to do with learning about yourself, your own energy, your own path. Breaking free. It was breaking free from something. There was a situation here that it took you a long time, I feel, to kind of make your mind up about. Because it is about the 2 of Discs being in 2 minds about something. But then you kind of broke free from it. But I feel that however it was done wasn't necessarily done, like if other people were to kind of look at you and the way that it was done, they would have looked at you in the sense of, well, you know, that was a bit stupid or immature. It could have been dealt with better. But because it's upright, I'm kind of going to say that in some ways you didn't really have any choice. It was like it was the only way that you could free yourself from that situation. Even though when you look back on it, you yourself may well think, well, actually I could have dealt with it better. But at the time, that's what I had to work with. That's what I had to deal with. That's all I had. And over the top of this Three of Water, we have the Three of Discs. Which can talk about teamwork. It can talk about kind of building something with somebody else. It's come out over this Four of Water energy here. So I feel it's about you kind of climbing up this ladder to look over the top, to see what's on the other side of this wall. It may even be you kind of standing at the bottom down there and wondering what's over the top of the wall, because it's got a kind of similar energy to this Four of Water here, this kind of sense of like there is so much more. Look and see, there is so much more. But it's almost like there's a sense of something that's blocking that energy. Or there was. This is your present energy. But she's kind of looking up. If you see here, she's kind of looking up at that ladder. She's kind of, for me, she's kind of wondering what is up there. You know, I'm having to stand down here and they're getting to climb that ladder and to see beyond where I can see. A sense of like, I want to do that too. I want to climb that ladder. I want to. But with this, I think it's more about this kind of sense of I want to go deeper. I want to go deeper. I want to discover more. But I feel as though it's kind of wall that you felt was up in front of you, that you couldn't kind of go round it, you couldn't kind of there was a blockage, is what I'm kind of picking up from this card, that something was kind of blocking this movement forward, something was blocking this yeah, this kind of self-discovery. And maybe it was yourself that was blocking it as well. Maybe it was you that was kind of not wanting to go down into that depths. As I was talking about with this Four of Water here, kind of totally emerged here and see what was being offered. Maybe it felt like it was a big climb. Maybe it felt like it was, you know, too, like climbing a mountain, like it was too, what's the word I'm looking for here? It was too, too much. Too daunting. That it was too daunting. It was too daunting, the prospect of looking, because I feel as though it's looking back at your life here. But in some ways, this card is saying to me, you had to do this. You had to climb that mountain. You had to kind of overcome that fear and that overwhelming feeling of being daunted by it all, and kind of keeping yourself in that position of being blocked and walled off and even just keeping yourself in the same place that you have been in. Okay, so we have the Priestess of Swords. So this is the Queen of Swords. There's something very kind of pure about this energy here. Swords is of the mind, it's of the like cutting through things. So I feel as though, because it's come out over the top of this confusion energy here, I feel that this is this murky past, but this is about you kind of going deeper into your own wisdom and understanding. Kind of this bird for me is representing this owl. I think there's nearly always an owl with the energy of the Queen of Swords, or very often, which is like the wisdom, the intellect, the seeing the bigger picture, the clarity. And it does look to me like a very snowy kind of scenery here as well, which can depict something that's very cold. So you yourself may have kind of closed off to a lot of other things in your life at this time, or you are at this time, Sagittarius, just kind of very closed off to whatever else is happening around you. You may have this feeling of like, with this Nine of Earth energy, you may well have this feeling of like, you know, I just want to focus on me at this time. This is about me, this is about my journey, this is what I'm going to focus my attention on. And her sword is literally stuck in this pile of snow as well, I feel. It does look very much like snow to me. The whole thing looks like snow. Snow-driven energy. And snow, of course, melts very quickly. Or it can melt very quickly when the sun kind of comes out and warms up the environment. But I feel as though that like little yellow blob there is more of the moon than it is the sun here. Or if it is the sun, it's kind of very much behind the murkiness of these clouds still as well. This kind of same murky feeling here. So this is possibly where you're at this time, because this is your present energy. So this is possibly where you're feeling maybe stuck as well. But it has come up upright. So for me, it's kind of saying, you know, you are doing the right thing. You are kind of clearing away, I feel, this past energy. You are kind of clearing out. Because this snow is kind of, it's melting. It's like something is melting. Something that is kind of, and I get the impression of it kind of cleaning and cleansing and clearing things away for you. This energy here with this swords, this mind, it's like you're very focused. And that's kind of, again, what I was saying about this focus on this little yellow flower down here. Like, it's like if I keep all my attention here on this beauty of this little yellow flower, which is like also representing this light for me today as well, then it's like the past energy is no longer kind of affecting in a way. It's kind of a cleansing. It's what I'm feeling, this kind of like, yeah, cleansing, clearing things away, clearing things out. And that may even have something to do with clearing out kind of things on a physical level as well, like needing to clear out your actual environment and get rid of things that you've kept for a long time that no longer are important to you. And we have over the top of the Eight of Fire, we have the Eight of Wands, Eight of Fire energy twice. So, I do feel as though there is this kind of playfulness, there is this kind of energy of, I'm kind of getting this mischievousness, is what I'm feeling here. Of kind of opening things up, that as things kind of clear out for you here, things are going to kind of start clearing up or kind of easing up, becoming easier. The Eight of Wands is often to do with communication, and all of these arrows here are on fire that are coming in. And they're all kind of aimed at her as well. But it's like double Eight of Fire energy. I just get the feeling that things are going to change. Things are changing, already are changing in fact. The transformation is taking place. And something is going to be set ablaze. Again, it's this feeling of kind of something illuminating, maybe. Each one of these arrows kind of hitting its mark on one of these as well, and kind of bringing it to light, really kind of bringing things out. As I was saying, it's kind of being on the stage of your own life here as well, really being in the spotlight here as well. But I feel as though the spotlight is more about you, your own spotlight, in the sense of you really focusing or really kind of shining a light on yourself here, Sagittarius. You really kind of putting yourself in the spotlight for your own benefit, not to do with fame or fortune or anything although for some of you it could be, for some Sagittarians out there it could be, but I feel as though on the whole that this is more about you taking the spotlight in your own life, kind of taking, I don't feel it's about taking control or taking charge, but kind of really drilling down on what it is that you want, where it is that you want your life to go next, what it is that you want to achieve maybe. It can be to do with communication, it could be to do with hot kind of communication coming in, maybe messages that are going to, I just feel things that are going to kind of bring light, bring clarity, bring in this awareness on a even bigger scale, just kind of things really kind of being lit up. And we have the Sun of Wands over the top of the Hangman energy here. Sun of Wands being the Knight of Wands, again, fire. There's quite a lot of fire in this reading. There's quite a lot of passion, drive, creativity. Sun of Wands is going to relate to the fire energies. The Daughter of Wands here is going to relate to Aries and Sagittarius, yourself, your own energy here, as well as Leo energy. And the Son of Wands is also going to be that energy as well. So, and we are in Leo season as well. So you may well be kind of feeling like you need to take hold of your life and really kind of set it ablaze at the moment, or kind of really, there's something that's really maybe really important that you really need to communicate, or something that you're really passionate about doing. Or achieving. But the Hangman energy is kind of saying that this is about you being able to take a step back in a way. Take a step back, because the Son of Wands has come out in reverse. And so again, I kind of always see the Son of Wands as being this kind of playful, mischievous energy. If you look at the actual person in the middle of the card, he's kind of got this energy of a bit like a medicine man in a way, this kind of this sense of being many things at once, in a way. The way that he's kind of striped and he's spotted and he's got these horns coming out of his head, and he's kind of like, you know, he's saying I can be all these different things. And I think over the top of this Hangman energy, it's kind of saying, and again there's a similarity here. If you look at the shape when he's upside down, there is a very similar kind of hanged man symbolic look with that energy, which is also here as well in this energy. Which is why I think this energy of the Hangman is really important at this time to you, Sagittarius. And this is, as I was saying, this is future energy. This is what you're moving into. And so I feel that it's about this, it is about this transformation. It's almost about kind of no longer playing all these different roles or all these different characters that you've had to maybe play throughout your life, Sagittarius, or feel as though you've had to kind of take on all these different energies here. I feel as though it's kind of dropping all that. Kind of dropping the kind of almost like I wouldn't say charade or kind of, but almost like playing charades, almost like kind of like playing different roles for different people, or you know, different hats for different things, that kind of energy of putting on all these different personas in a way, even Sagittarius, that you feel as though you've had to do. And the Hangman energy here is saying to me that it's time for you to drop all that and actually kind of, and I feel that that's also possibly what this is saying here as well, that it's the relief of kind of finding you, finally. It's kind of, like I was saying, you know, that sense of just blissful, like I don't have to do that anymore. That's I don't have to do it. It's like that's over. That time of me. There's a freneticness in this energy as well, a real kind of sense of frenetic, I wouldn't say desperation, but in a way it's kind of like over pleasing or really wanting to please, a bit like a puppy. It's kind of what I'm picking up here. A bit like having to have been a puppy, like just like, you know, really wanting that energy, really wanting to have been kind of accepted and fit in. That's interesting because we've got the 5 of Cups that's come out over the top. I'm going to take it because it landed right on top of that while something else jumped out over there. Yeah. 5 of Cups in reverse here. I really do feel as though it's time for you to drop this energy of maybe trying to fit into something. Because all these crabs here, I presume they're crabs, I don't know, hermit crabs or something. They're kind of all trying to fit into these vases or urns or pots. They're all kind of trying to fit into them. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here, is like, you know, you've tried to fit into roles in your life that you may not necessarily have found happiness in. Because the 5 of Cups is about a feeling of betrayal. It's about a feeling of not finding your happiness, Sagittarius. And that's what I feel the Hangman is kind of needing to let go of here, and to drop and to release and to just finally kind of emerge out of as this messenger of air energy in this completely different form. And then we get you come out as the Priestess of Wands, which is your energy. It is the Queen of Queen of Fire energy, Queen of Wands, over the top of this messenger of air. And again, we've got this lion here as well. But I'm kind of getting this sense of, with this card, it's kind of you walking with this energy rather than with this. It's like a heaviness. There's kind of a real kind of sense of a role. Again, a role that you may have had to have taken on, but you didn't necessarily want to, or was necessary at the time. But this is an amazing energy. I'm really picking something like something very powerful up about this energy here, Sagittarius. This sense of kind of you, really kind of finding you is what I'm feeling. This is you. This is you discovering your uniqueness, your rawness, your powerfulness. The rainbow in the back, like it's like the rainbow journey in a way, which started here, has come out here. And I feel as though this is kind of like a real, it's like a rebirth is how it feels. It's kind of you really realizing who you are, and that this, because her hand's on the top of this lioness here as well. Again, it's a female, it's the lioness rather than the lion itself. So maybe this is talking more about the feminine, more kind of gentle energy here, whereas before you've had to play the role, maybe like I was saying, you've had to play the role with both the male and the female. Maybe you've had to have, you know, been in a very masculine driven world and kind of lived in that kind of energy and taken it on board, and it maybe didn't suit, but it was difficult to release it or let go of it. But there's just this sense, I just get this sense of, like I was saying with this card, it's like, at last, it makes so much sense. It's like, I know who I am. With this messenger of air energy and this priestess of wands, it's just like this queen has found her identity. And she's strong in it. You're really strong in it, Sagittarius. It's like, again, it doesn't have to be a female that I'm talking to here, but there is just this sense of real strength of identity, of like, and nobody's going to take it away. That's how it feels. It's like nobody's taking it away from me. Not this time. This sense of I'm not going to I'm not going to pretend to be anything else anymore, or try to please other people maybe in the way that you have done in the past as well, Sagittarius. So after this kind of illumination happens, and I feel as though it is kind of this illumination, this real sense of yeah, just really understanding yourself on a really deep level here, Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Well, it did kind of fall on top of the priestess, so I will take it as being on this card rather than on the other card. And we have the star underneath, which is beautiful because this is destiny. This is you kind of finding your destiny, finding your star. And again, it's that kind of emerge, like submerging yourself. This kind of like healing energy, looking after yourself. There's just this real contentment in this card as well. And also this sense of kind of connection with everything else. This connection, kind of knowing that you, although this is you here, you are also everything else around you in a way. That it's all there for your benefit, for your pleasure. And there's kind of a deep sense of, I feel as though there's this deep sense of kind of gratitude here as well. It's kind of learning something on a really kind of deep rooted level, that he's giving you this, not only this healing experience, but this healing experience which really, it's just, again, this cleansing. It's kind of cleansing. It's kind of connecting everything in your life together for you. I just kind of, it's just beautiful. It's really beautiful, Sagittarius. Really beautiful. And it's similar, like again, like I'm just kind of seeing the similarity of their faces as well. This kind of blissful look on her face, and there's this blissful look on her face as well. Like just this knowing, just this really deep knowing of who you are, why you're here, what it's all about, what's your purpose, what you're meant to be doing, all the big stuff, all the kind of big stuff that we struggle with. Again, it's fallen on this, I don't know why, but they keep giving me cards for this. And there's a sense of, with this Two of Wands here as well, there's a sense of connection here for me to ancestry, to your past. Yeah, it's kind of, connection. If you look at those cards together, there's kind of this like with this sleeping, is kind of this something that's connecting you to something greater here. And I feel it's to do with kind of ancestry, or kind of a understanding of past generations. This is generational for me. This is kind of dreaming, but it's also at the same time being aware of your connection with previous generations. Even like possibly cleansing things out from past generations as well. Maybe not just your stuff as well that you've been carrying here, Sagittarius, but becoming aware that this is also generational, that this is stuff that has been kind of accumulated through the generations, and that now it's time for you to kind of, you've been given the how do I want to put it, the what's the word I'm looking for here? You've been given the ability, it's almost like being handed the, no, I don't want to use the word responsibility, because I don't think it is about responsibility. It's bigger than responsibility in the sense of it being what's the word I'm trying to find here? The you being given the, I'm not taking all of them, it's far too many. Being given the word word, what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Being given the wisdom, maybe, I don't know if that's the right word. But if you see here, it's like she's making the fire down here, and it's like she's, you know, it's what the accumulated what's passed on, and we pass on, or we learn conditionally, or are conditioned into, it's like you know, learning how to make fire back at a time of like tribal times when fire was really important to us. So the energy of learning to make fire was very, very valuable and important to know, because it kept you alive. But as well as learning those kind of things, there's also emotional situations as well here that are passed on, even without us knowing or realizing, understanding that that's what's happening to us. And so I feel as though it's a kind of generational cleansing that's happening here, that you're kind of being shown that you have been given. It's like a gift. It's like you being handed that gift of being able to clear all of this kind of accumulated karma in a way, with this Judgment card here and the World down here for your generational family or history here. That's, I think, what it is. It's about cleansing out the history, the generational history, and it's kind of like this gift has been given to you. And like I was saying here, you know, it's something that you have taken on willingly without necessarily knowing that that's what it was all about in a way. But you are coming to that point of realizing that you just have to kind of willingly let go and release all of this, all of what's kind of accumulated behind you in your past. And the energy that we have, the Three of Wands coming out after the Two of Wands here. Has come out over the top of the Seven of Earth. It has come out in reverse. But the Three of Wands for me is about it is about taking a risk of kind of moving into a future that is uncertain, I feel here. And it's come out, like I was saying, over the top of this Seven of Earth energy of this kind of being noticed. And you may feel on some level that it could be about being kind of feeling as though you are being thrown into a situation of having to move forward in a way that you're not necessarily ready here. The Three of Wands energy. This could also be the other person, Sagittarius here. This could be their energy that you're going to be dealing with. And as I say, their energy, you get the Lovers and you get the Four of Cups. So I feel as though there could be this situation of, like, as you come out and you deal with all of this energy generationally from your past, there's still something with this energy here, there's still something that's not because I feel that this goes back, again, as I was saying earlier, that it goes back to this Three of Fire here, like this, whatever it was that was put on the back burner while you went off on this different journey. This energy of this back boiler here, which you kind of freed yourself from, or feel as though you freed yourself from. It's kind of like it's coming back round, I feel. It's almost like there's something that hasn't been resolved here. There's something that hasn't been completely dealt with, because it's come out, like I was saying, with the Four of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Four of Cups and the Lovers. And they are, or the Lovers is in reverse. So there is this sense of difficulty here. And the Three of Wands, the Four of Cups is the only card that's up the right way. And it's like crossing, I feel as though you're kind of having to cross that stream here as well, with this Four of Cups down here. This Three of Wands energy for me is kind of saying that it was in the past, or you thought it was in the past, you thought you'd kind of moved on from it, but it has come back round here. And now you need to make this, you know, decision. Is it going to kind of come back into your future? Because I do feel as though, like I was saying, that it's on the back boiler, it's on the back burner, it's kind of been put to the back. And so this could be the other person's energy. Like I was saying, the other person may be feeling that you let them down. We've got the Four of Water twice, it's come out here as well. They may be feeling that you let them down, not understanding what happened, why it was that you went off in a different direction, had to do what you had to do. But there is still this attraction. There is still this, like I'm saying, there's still this strong attraction. Especially when the Lovers card comes out as well in reverse. So I am going to leave that part of the reading there with this Lovers energy. There is a decision to make, but when you do make that decision, you're not going to be making it from a place where you feel as though you have to please everybody for the sake of wanting to I feel as though it's approval, this sense of needing to be approved of, as though if you make the wrong decision, then you're going to feel or you would have in the past. I don't think it's the same anymore, because I think you've dealt with a lot of that. I think you've dealt with, or you're going to be dealing with that energy of clearing that out, that sense of needing approval. So it's quite possible that somebody here is going to be disappointed in a decision that you're going to make, Sagittarius. That they're going to want a different outcome to the one that you are going to decide for yourself. So I've pulled a Ask and It Is Given card from the Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks energy, Esther Jerry Hicks. If you don't know who Abraham is, there's lots of information online. You can go on YouTube and check out the videos on there. Lots of interesting information. Abraham is an energetic energy that is channeled through Esther Hicks. And the card that you got here is, when I reverse the thought, I reverse the conditioning, which is very apt. It says, there is no condition so severe that you cannot reverse it by choosing different thoughts. However, choosing different thoughts requires focus and practice, which may be this energy here as well. This is what you're focusing and practicing on at this time. Clearing stuff so that you can have much more of a positive thought process. If you continue to focus as you have been, to think as you have been, and to believe as you have been, then nothing in your experience will change. And I think that's what you're becoming very aware of, or you are going to become very aware of in the not too distant future here, Sagittarius, as things are kind of shifting and cleansing and clearing. So I hope that this has been of some help to you, Sagittarius. Please, if you have liked my video, could you thumbs it up for me? The more likes it gets, the more the algorithms of YouTube will pick it up and take it out into the bigger kind of YouTube world, as I like to call it. And then more people will actually get to see my videos and hear my messages, and hopefully they will then come back to my channel and maybe watch more videos, possibly even subscribe. And thank you very much to those of you who have subscribed to my channel recently. I'm back up to where I was before I lost some subscribers, so I'm feeling a lot more kind of positive, shall we say, about that as well. So thank you very much, and thank you very much to those of you who have been here with me for quite some time now, since I've been doing my readings. I really do appreciate all of you, and helping me to grow my channel has been really exciting for me. And the amazing feedback that I've received recently as well, just the odd comment here and there, has been really, really nice to read, and to know that my readings have been making a difference and resonating with some people out there really makes it all worthwhile. So thank you very much. To those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please could you do so if you are feeling so inclined. It would be great to have you here. And also tap the bell to receive the videos as and when I will be putting them out. I do new moon, full moon, all the zodiac signs, and any other kind of zodiacal or astrological, should I say, kind of shifting of energies when the planets move, signs, or if there's major events that are happening. I recently did one on the 8-8 Lionsgate energy as well. I'm thinking about doing one on this Mars and Black Moon Lilith conjunction, which is going to be lasting from now all the way up until October, during which time we get two conjunctions, one which happened yesterday, exact conjunction, and because Mars is going to go retrograde, we're going to have a second conjunction with this Black Moon Lilith energy as well. So I have spoken a little bit about that in my last video, my Aquarius full moon video. So if anybody's interested in finding out more about that, you could always go and check out that video. Everything is in playlists as well. So if you go and check out my playlist, you will find everything there that you may find of some interest. So again, thank you very much, Sagittarius, for watching and listening to my videos, and please share, please comment, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Look after yourselves, and please look after anybody else who you can at this time.